Hello Capricorn, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self to ultimately create the life that you deserve and desire. As I do in all of my readings, I've pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. But I still have a tarot deck that I'll be pulling from, as well as the clarification deck and the advice deck I'll be using to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So please remember to take what does resonate and helps you with your personal situation and just leave the rest. All right, Capricorn, let's jump on in. In your recent past, you have embrace uncertainty with the Ten of Swords. So pretty painful experience here in your recent past. The best way that I can describe this Ten of Swords is feeling a little bit betrayed, maybe a lot of it betrayed by the universe. Maybe you thought things were going one way, they turned out being kind of having a completely different outcome. Like you thought you found your person, that person ended up betraying you. You thought you found your path, that path ended up not working out. And things, I don't necessarily know if they fell apart or what happened, but I do very much see that you were kind of thrown into the depths of uncertainty. Now, something that I'm kind of noticing with these two cards is that like the background is the same a little bit. Like you've got you're kind of like on a shore, you've got your water, your mountains in the background. And then it's obviously night in both. But I don't really know how that applies to anything. I just feel like sometimes when things don't go exactly as we had planned, it can feel as if everything has gone off track. It can feel as if we've lost our opportunity to have whatever it is that we've been looking for, whatever it is that we've desired, when a lot of times the uncertainty associated is what tricks us into believing that, but the uncertainty might actually be where the life that we desire is created. So I feel like that's kind of what it's kind of connecting those two cards, kind of connecting this Ten of Swords to uncertainty and saying, a lot of times the reason that things are so painful and difficult for us to work through is because of our lack of control, and sometimes our lack of control is a good thing. But in your current energy, you have changes with the Hangman in reverse. So you're going through a lot of change, I feel like, in your life. Maybe you kind of already have been through those changes. You're not really loving them. Because this Hangman in reverse is an energy of kind of holding on to how you think things should be, holding on to how you think things should have gone, trying to kind of control the outcome in a way, which is super natural. It's a very human thing for us to do. Our ego, which is not to be demonized, is the part of us that literally is there to keep us alive, and it's a very important mechanism for us as human beings. The problem becomes when we allow our ego to kind of control our decision making, because our ego actually prefers what is familiar over what might actually be best for us. So your ego actually prefers a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. So our ego likes to hold on to how things have been and how things once were, because it likes the predictability of that, even though you might be, and according to this reading, very much are headed towards something very good. Now, in your immediate future, you have higher power with the 10 of Pentacles. So you are very supported on this path, whether or not you feel like it, whether or not you are able to see it. You are very supported on this path to the abundance that you're looking for. I mean, this 10 of Pentacles, it could represent so many different things. It could represent financial freedom. It can represent kind of finding that relationship you've been looking for, just kind of living in a place of freedom and abundance. And I feel like that's what you've been lacking. And because of these changes you've been through, I feel like you feel that you've gotten further away from this 10 of Pentacles, but it still exists in your future. It's still very possible for you. And then your overall theme of the reading is a windfall of abundance. It says an increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms, some of them unexpected. Be open to receiving and know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health, and charitable work. So I definitely feel like things are, I say this in a lot of my readings, because I'm a genuine believer in the fact that things are often working out better than we have a tendency to make them out to be in our mind. But just like seriously, based on what's coming through in this reading, that's the case for you. So let's get some details here. This is looking at Capricorn's recent past. It's kind of a longer intro to this reading, but I feel like there's a lot kind of going on here. So, all right. Recent past. Woo. For Capricorn. All right. What was Capricorn dealing with in their recent past? Page of Pentacles in reverse. The Hermit. And then here's the Ace of Pentacles. And this Ace of Pentacles is this opportunity for the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. So you mistook something in your past as this. It's like something, yeah, and I kind of said that at the beginning of the reading. It feels like something you thought was an opportunity to get you to this Ten of Pentacles ended up very much not being, which has you believing it's not happening, but it's not that it's not happening. It's just happening a little bit different than you thought. Which again is very difficult because there's a lot of uncertainty associated with that, but it's like you mistook the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Swords for the Ten of Pentacles. Like something that you thought was going to lead you to abundance ended up not panning out. But it's not that this doesn't exist, it's just that it hasn't appeared yet. All right, let's get a little bit more. Happened? I don't know what happened here. I mean, it is general, so I guess I can't get too picky. Two of Cups in reverse. Separation from something. That's kind of the whole gist of this energy is like separation, or you like something either being taken away from you or you like being removed from something that was very deeply connected to your heart that you thought was going to be this Ten of Pentacles. And with this Five of Swords here, okay, the Five of Swords is kind of like a complete lack of faith in the universe. Now, it's really hard to have faith in the universe when things just like don't go our way, right? It's hard to be like, trust the universe when you're like, I'm trying and things aren't working out, right? But when I talk about trusting the universe, it's more trusting the process of getting to where you're trying to go, because so much of the time we close our eyes off to what's possible and we think things have to go a certain way. And when we think things have to go a certain way, we start to tell ourselves, if things don't go this way, then like I'm screwed. You know, I won't be happy, I won't be healthy, I won't be abundant, I won't be loved. Whatever the story in our mind, that we create kind of starts to tell us, we start to believe. And when we start to believe that story, we actually start to resist the changes that might actually be leading us to what it is that we've been looking for all along. So I actually feel like that's a lot of what you're dealing with in this energy. Now, I don't want to downplay this because this is very painful. This is a very painful energy. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's a separation from something connected to you, connected to your heart, connected to, a lot of possibility and potential that you saw. And it makes a lot of sense that this feels like a betrayal of the universe, because to you, it might feel like the universe dangled something in front of you, like, look at what you could have, and then like ripped it away. But I don't actually feel like that's what happened. Like, that's what feels like what happened, but I don't feel like that's what actually happened here. But let's see. Because, yeah, you're feeling, or at least in your recent past, you were feeling pretty, like, betrayed by the universe. Not feeling like the universe has your back here. And I feel like you're going to switch up that mindset if you get to this future energy. Okay. Recent past for Capricorn. The Empress in reverse. Ooh, and there's the Ten of Swords. Okay. Okay. Whatever this Ten of Swords was here, you thought you wanted it, like, or whatever led to the Ten of Swords, the opportunity that was kind of taken from you, that you felt was removed from your life. You thought you wanted it because you saw a lot of potential in it, a lot of what it could be, but what you desired didn't align with what you deserve to have. And that's the biggest thing coming through in this, is it's like, yes, this has been very painful that this didn't work out, but what you mostly lost here was the potential you saw, not actually what was removed. And I feel like, I don't know, it just feels like, how you desired things to play out didn't actually align with as good as it could get for you. And so that's why the universe is saying, listen, I know this sucks. I know this hurts. I know this doesn't seem fair. But you are very supported. That's what this higher power card is saying in your immediate future. Whoa. You are very supported. You are very, you can still have what you want. You can still have what you desire here. It's just going to come in a different form. In a better form, actually, I feel. I have so many people comment on the fact that I seem like a Virgo because of how particular I am about my cards and my table. I'm not. I'm actually very fire. My chart is very fiery. I'm a Leo sun, pretty much a Leo, like almost everything, and then a Sagittarius moon and a Libra rising. So I guess not Leo everything, but everything else. All right, current energy for Capricorn. So, where's Capricorn at now? What the heck is Capricorn dealing with now? All right. I think it's the Libra in me that allows me to talk as much as I do in these readings. All right, Queen of Pentacles with the Lovers in reverse. Ooh, the Ten of Swords with the Fool. Okay. So here you are showing up in your own reading as the Queen of Pentacles. Whether you're male or female, it does not matter. We all have feminine and masculine energies within us. Okay. I feel like some of you guys are going to argue with me on this message, but I'm going to deliver it anyway. So there is a part of you, Libra, or well, not Libra. I was talking about my Libra. You're a Capricorn. There's part of you, Capricorn, that believes that you either deserved this Ten of Swords or that you're not deserving of what it is of this Ten of Pentacles. So right now, okay, one of the biggest things we have to remember, and I talk about this in a lot of my readings, and you'll hear me continue to talk about it in a lot of my readings, 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. Only 5% of the way that we interact with our reality is actually conscious level decision making. Now, our subconscious is made up of how we've internalized our experience since birth, how we've internalized, how the love that our parents gave us and what we believe that we were deserving of from a young age, how we've learned to determine our own value, what we've determined that we are deserving of, and each and every experience kind of adds to that belief system. Now, the difference between living in an unconscious reality and a conscious reality is when you're living in an unconscious reality, you are allowing those limiting beliefs that you have about yourself and your life to completely control your decision making. Living in a conscious reality is becoming aware of those and making different decisions. So, you're kind of in this process, Capricorn, of shifting from an unconscious reality to a conscious reality. Now, you might be like, what the hell does that mean? A lot of the times we don't realize that our life is a reflection of what we believe that we deserve. And so much of the time we settle for so much less than what we deserve because we think that is as good as it can get for us. We think that if we don't settle, then we're never going to have anything at all. And that we have to settle for bare minimum or for as good as it can get because it's better to have that than nothing. that's kind of what you've been doing here, Capricorn. You've been settling for a certain reality that isn't even close to as good as it can get for you. And the universe is trying to wake you up from that place of unconscious decision making, kind of settling and choosing things that are less than what you deserve because you think you have to getting you to see that you have way more power over your reality than you even think. And so right now, you're maybe experiencing this resistance to these changes that you're going through because in your mind, you feel like you're losing what it is you desired. You feel like you're further away from what it is that you were wanting. But that actually isn't true because this 10 of Swords that you've been through here is leading you to the full. It's leading you to this new beginning. And it's leading you to a new beginning that is more in alignment with what it is that you deserve. Now, sometimes we think that we desire something so much that we think that obtaining that desire is the only way for us to have what we deserve. We think that having whatever it is that we want is the only way for us to be happy, fulfilled, loved. A lot of the times we actually mistake our desires with what we think we need. And when we let go of what we think we need and we allow the universe to lead us towards as good as things can get, by learning to listen to divine guidance, opening our mind to that possibility, then we actually start to create a better reality than we even imagined being possible for ourselves. So right now, pay attention to the stuff going on within. Pay attention to the projection. Our mind is constantly projecting a movie onto our life. And when we are going through change, we either have a way of looking at it as things are getting worse or things have the possibility to get better than I imagined. I feel like things have the possibility to get better than you imagined here just based on this future energy. All right. What else for Capricorn's current energy? Page of Cups in reverse with the World. Okay, here you are showing up as the King of Pentacles now. Again, whether you're male, and look at, there's the Queen of Pentacles right behind it. So again, this is saying whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. But what does matter is how open or closed your mind and heart is as you are navigating these changes. You are being divinely guided. We're always being divinely guided. There is always a energy of guidance within us that wants us to have what it is that we desire. But the problem is a lot of times we block ourselves off to that guidance because we think things need to go a certain way. Right now, you're holding on to how you think things need to go. And that's keeping things from being able to shift in the direction of where they really can go, which is ultimately going to be better than what you think you need. So this World here is saying you're kind of stuck in a cycle, maybe stuck in a cycle of not making changes, stuck in a cycle of not allowing changes to take place, stuck in a cycle of like holding on to the past, holding on to how things should have been. And that's really easy to do, especially when we go through things that are really painful, because a lot of times our mind will tell us things would have been better if they would have played out, in this specific way. But we don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that things would have been better. Just because they could have been different doesn't mean they would have been better. So much of the time we dwell on what reality we could be living if XYZ happened. We forget that our life is happening right now and we have control over what happens to us based on how we respond to what we're experiencing. So right now is a time of recognizing maybe some of the ways that you have sold yourself a little bit short, that you have settled for less than what you deserve, that you have closed off your heart to as good as things can get and allowed certain experience that didn't really align with what you deserve to dictate what you thought you needed to have. Because right now is a time of awakening for you. Here, Capricorn, now we have so many different levels of awakening in our life, so it's not just one big awakening and you've got everything figured out. So you might be like, I've been through a spiritual awakening, or I've been experiencing spiritual awakenings my whole life. Well, this is one of them, and it's allowing you to kind of, in a sense, Capricorn, level up. Level up in your life, level up in your experiences, level up, personally. And the thing that we have to remember is that the changes happen within before they happen outside of us. And it comes from, what we believe, what we think is possible, what we give our energy and focus to. And the more that you shift your focus to in the direction of everything is happening for me, not to me, even if it feels so hard to even understand how that's the case right now, the more that you can shift your mind in that direction little by little, the more that actually starts to become true for you. Because a lot of times our most painful experiences can be transmuted into our purpose. And that provides us with a deeper sense of purpose that then allows us to create more good for ourselves and others in the world. I hope this is making sense. I feel like this is kind of a pretty deep reading. All right, current energy for Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know? Oof. I don't know what is going on here. Okay. These cards have a lot to say. So these changes that you're going through, or that maybe you're resisting a little bit, or that are happening, but you're not really loving them, I feel like they're actually very good. And you might be like, how the hell are they good? I feel like you'll see how good they can be. Yeah. 8 of Wands with the 7 of Swords in reverse. Sometimes when I'm talking about something, I feel like the cards like bring out the message of what I'm saying, because it's almost like you'll see. Like, information will be revealed. Information will head your way, where you're going to start to see how things are working out for you in a way that's better than you can even understand. Because the universe has such a greater plan for us than we even have for ourselves. And the universe's plan is based on our unlimited potential. But we have such a tendency to limit our potential and to limit what we think is possible for us and what we think that, is the limit of what we can experience. And so much of the time when things are changing, they're actually evolving, even if to us it feels like they're falling apart. And that's the hardest part about manifestation and creating a better life for yourself, is you have to be willing to let go of how things have been and how things are, and embrace the uncertainty associated with how good they can get. So right now, you might not have all the answers, and you might be really confused, and you might be like, how the hell is any of this working out for me? You don't need to know all the answers, though. You don't need to have everything figured out. What you need to know is that everything is working out for you. Lean into, the kind of that divine intuitive guidance, and only good things can come from that with this higher power and 10 of Pentacles. All right. This windfall, it feels like it's very protected, like it's meant for you. It's yours to have, and you're heading in that direction. So what can Capricorn expect in their immediate future should they choose to move forward in alignment with their higher self? Success. Success after the fact, after this 2 of Cups in reverse. And it feels like that might feel so out of reach, because you might not understand what that means. I think that so much of the time we have a tendency to hard define our success. And we say success is only I'm only going to be successful or happy or abundant if this specific thing works out, if this specific relationship works out, if this specific situation pans out. One of the spiritual teachers that I resonate the most with at this time is Gabby Bernstein. And she talks a lot about how rejection and redirection is actually divine protection, and how a lot of times when people will come to her and they'll be like, oh, I'm getting a divorce, or I lost this job, or I didn't get this job that I wanted, she said, I'll respond with congratulations. And she'll say she doesn't say that to be insensitive or to downplay what they're going through, but to say, just because that didn't happen, that's the universe protecting you from what could have gone wrong. And now you're being guided to something that is even better. One of my absolute favorite mottos is, it's this or something better. If things don't pan out the way that you think that they needed to, that only means that something better can take place. And you might not understand how that's the case until you get to where you're going. And you get to where you're going by trusting that the universe is supporting you on this journey, which again is really hard to do when you haven't experienced it. But I will also say you only experience the support in the universe to the extent that you believe in it. So it's kind of a catch-22, because you want to experience it to believe in it, but you've got to believe in it to experience it. And if you believe in it, you experience it, and then you believe in it a little more, and then you experience it a little more, and then that's kind of how you learn to build faith. All right, so success. What else does Capricorn need to know regarding their immediate future should they choose to move forward in alignment with their higher self? So here's this 2 of Cups in reverse. Sometimes we feel like losing something, when things don't pan out the way that we wanted them to, in our mind we have a tendency to go, but they'll never be as good as that could have been. And what the universe wants you to know with this, because remember, you had the success after the Two of Cups in reverse. You have this Two of Cups in reverse again, and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. The universe is trying to tell you, when you get to where all of this is trying to take you, you will not feel like you have lost anything at all. You won't feel, when I was going through like the hardest period of my life, and this was back in 2021, I quite literally lost everything. I lost pretty much every friend I've ever had. I lost family members. I lost my job. I lost everything. And in my head, I was so angry at the universe. I could not fathom how the universe could put me through this. At the time, I was a spiritual teacher, or thought that I was a spiritual teacher. I lived my life by the spiritual principles that I had been kind of helping other people live by, and I could not fathom why the universe would take away everything in the way that it did. And it wasn't until I got to the other side of it that I realized the universe didn't take anything from me at all. The universe took away what was less than what I deserved to realign me with a much better, much more abundant version of the life than I was living. And at the time, I thought there's no way things could ever be better than they were for me. And I couldn't, even fathom how they could ever be anything more than what they were. And that's because I had limited myself to what I thought was really possible for me. And I realized that a lot of people do that. So many people hold on to as good as they think it can get because they don't realize how good it can really get. And now with where I'm at in my life right now, yes, I've had to grieve loss, and I've had to make peace with that kind of that past version of myself. But I'm so grateful for everything that has taken place and the process that has gotten me here, because first of all, I wouldn't be able to be here if I hadn't gone through that period of my life. And if you would have told me that at the time, I probably would have punched you in the face, because I would have been like, how, don't freaking tell me this is happening for me, because it was hard. It was the hardest time I've ever had to experience. But because of where it led me into where where I'm at now, I look back and I say, wow, I can't believe that I thought that that's as good as it was going to get for me. And I'm so grateful that the universe didn't let me settle there. So sometimes we think that, when we lose certain people or certain things in our life, we think that things can never be as good as they would have been if that situation had stayed or evolved. But in reality, it's not that I don't look at the things that I've lost as a loss. Of course I lost people, and it was hard and it was challenging, but it didn't mean that I had ever lost the opportunity to be happy, abundant, and loved in the way that I'm at now. So there's a lot of good here associated with what you're going through. It might not feel like it. It might not seem like it. You might be like, I don't believe you. You don't have to believe me, because time will kind of reveal that to you. Like this message kind of said, like, you'll see as you continue to progress forward. But, you have to learn to lean into these changes and allow the universe to take you to new heights in order to experience them. All right, one more for Capricorn's immediate future. Should they choose to move forward in alignment with their higher self? Ooh. Okay. Six of Pentacles with the Two of Swords. See, here's the thing. Here's what a lot of people who talk about manifestation don't tell you, is that it is a conscious choice. And it's a conscious choice made by overriding unconscious limited beliefs about yourself. Because here's, you have the choice to receive what it is that you desire. You have that choice. But that choice has to be made from a place of realizing that you're deserving of it and that you're supported in it. And that's a really, really hard thing to do when you aren't kind of, when you're having a hard time really believing that the universe has your back. But the universe is saying, we do have your back. You are supported. You are guided. You have everything you need right now in this moment. Even if it doesn't feel like it, you have everything you need to get to where you want to go. But the belief in that is the absolute key. as above, so below, as within, so without. If you don't believe that it is possible, you are not going to achieve it because you're not going to see the opportunities and make the decisions necessary to achieve it. If you do believe it's possible, the opposite's going to happen. You're going to start to see opportunities where you didn't even know opportunities existed. You're going to start to see potential in things and in situations that you never thought you could see potential in. So I definitely feel like, these changes are leading to abundance that you might not even know was possible for you. But right now is a time to, embrace not having all the answers, embrace the uncertainty that's coming with these changes, and believe that all of this is happening for your highest good, because I absolutely feel, just based on this reading, that it is. All right, Capricorn, I'm going to hop on over to the extended, focusing on what do you need to do right now to ensure you're moving forward in alignment with your higher self. But before I do that, I have an announcement to make. I posted a video about this last week, but I am going to be mentioning it at the end of all of my videos for the next month. On April 5th, 2024, at 6 p.m. Central Time, I am putting on a workshop for how to attract the love that you desire and deserve in your relationships, whether that is familial, platonic, romantic, obviously. And the goal and focus of that workshop is to help you kind of learn to create and sustain the relationships that you've been looking for. So any information for that I am putting at the top of the description box below, which will take you to, this is not going to be over YouTube, it's going to be a Zoom session. So tickets are purchased or are required to be purchased in order to attend. If you cannot attend the live event, because I know a lot of you are all over the world, that is okay. The next day, I will be sending out a recording to everyone who has purchased a ticket. So the only thing, if you can't make the live event, you'll be missing out on is the Q&A that I'll be doing at the end. For about 15 minutes, I'll be taking questions from people who are in attendance, which obviously you won't be able to do if you are not in attendance, but you'll still have the recording of that Q&A session available to you the next day. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. That is always in the description box below. Thank you so much, Capricorn, as always, for your support of my channel. I obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you are needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Capricorn.